Hi, my name's Rajiv, and I'd like to talk about the economic gold mine that Canada's sitting on. And by that I mean the oil reserves in Alberta. In fact, Canada is has the third largest oil reserves behind Saudi Arabia and Venezuela, approximately holding about 13.6% of all global oil reserves. It makes you wonder, as Canadians, why aren't we feeling the economic boom that's associated with having one of the most valued commodities? Well, currently in Alberta, about 27.3% of all GDP is energy related. And although this number is pretty large, it could be a lot more considering that Canada does have the third largest oil reserve. And well, the main reason that's why it's like this is because the process by which oil is extracted isn't the conventional drilling. It's a process known as fracking. And you're probably wondering, what is fracking? Fracking, or scientifically known as hydraulic fracturing, is a process of drilling and injecting fluids and chemicals into the ground at a high pressure in order to fracture the shale rocks that are containing these natural gases and releasing them. And once they're released, they are extracted through the conventional pumps that are used for all other oil reserves. And there are a lot of environmental factors limiting the production of oil through fracking. For one, up to 600 chemicals are used in fracking fluid, including toxins and carcinogens such as lead, uranium, mercury, ethylene glycol, radium, methanol hydrochloric acid, and formaldehyde. The process of fracking can lead to serious contamination to the surrounding areas, and approximately 30% of fracking fluid cannot be removed from the ground, which means it just sits there and it contaminates. And during the fracking process, methane gas is also released, which is an extremely poisonous gas. And a lot of these chemicals and the methane gas do contaminate the nearby groundwater. And it's shown that methane concentrations are actually 17 times higher near fracking sites than the normal wells. And there are even cases of human damage due to this contamination, where people reported damage to their sensory, respiratory, and neurological damage because they did ingest some contaminated water. And there are other considerations as well beyond the human scope. You have to see this from the grand scheme of things, that groundwater does travel to different ecosystems such as forests and lakes. And so even though fracking sites may only be a few kilometers long, their effects can be felt for hundreds of kilometers away. And so you basically have an understanding of what fracking is and what it's capable of doing. A few thoughts to think about what fracking and how it could help us. Fracking does allow us to produce much more as Canadians and to build our economy up. However, is it really worth it to do the damage to the environment, something that we really treasure in our country? Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the talk on fracking.